Lady, you always have me laughing to open these episodes. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of East Meets West, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, this is the women's national basketball team edition, Team USA.
That's
We will
right.
be reviewing their game versus Belgium. Yeah, wave the flag, wave it, wave it harder, expeditiously.
That's right.
We will be previewing and then reviewing. We will be reviewing, then we will be previewing their game against Germany. Yes, I can.
That's right.
Family sisters. But
Some nice Sunday morning basketball. Sunday morning
yeah,
hoops.
man, the actual
Yeah.
off day. Thank God. Um,
There you go.
yeah. So just I mean, I can start gushing. I could just go down the box score. We could just jump right into the what we seen. Like how you want to kick it off today? Because we could go there. We could go anywhere. It's really only two primary scorers, honestly. I mean, Brianna
Well,
and
I mean,
Paige. No point of
yeah.
really super going down the box score. I mean, I'll tap in with them, but like
No,
this
I mean,
game was all around for real.
yeah, I think this was USA versus Belgium. Kind of how you said after the game against Japan, you're like,
Yeah,
wow, now that you actually watch Japan, now you understand why they were power ranked at 4.
yeah,
I feel the same way about this game versus Belgium, right?
yeah.
I mean, I think we kind of had an idea of why they would be power ranked 2, but then when
Right.
you actually see them play, um, you know,
Hmm.
again, we're not just trying to pass around, participation trophies, but I think they played really well. And I know we
Yeah.
keep saying it, like, I don't want to make it seem like we're grading these teams on a curve, like,
Well,
oh, well, for them. No, again, like
probably on a WNBA curve.
WNBA curve, like it's
Same.
just
It's similar.
because I don't want to make it seem like we're trying to diminish what Team USA is doing because they are also playing well,
Right.
but it's like there's just like we've said, not as bad as Japan, but Belgium, they kind of lack size. And so they're not quite as athletic as Team USA, so
Mm,
again, they're maximizing what they do well,
right.
but I hate to like always come back to it. Like a big part of Team USA's ability to pull away, especially in second halves, is just the
Their
talent
athlete
disparity. Yeah,
and that too.
athleticism, but
Yeah.
so I mean, but all things considered, I think a lot of what we believe we were going to see from Belgium, we saw it.
Yeah.
Um, and likewise, I think. So what did we say we thought we were going to see? Um, we figured that Belgium was going to come out and they were going to try to out execute by passing and cutting
Yeah.
really efficiently. Um, when all was said and done,
Yeah.
sure enough, just like their first game, they had 29 made field goals, 22 of them
Mhm.
were assisted. So again, a very team oriented thing,
Yeah.
just like we saw against their first game. I think against Japan,
Yeah.
or no, whoever their first game. Oh no, against Germany.
Hmm.
Belgium against Germany. Like sure enough, Belgium really only had like 2, 3 scorers, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the team kind of sprinkle in a couple field goals here again off of motion. You know, off
Hmm.
cutting, off just kind of spotting up, going back door, and everything like that.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, they were legitimately competitive.
Yeah.
And at times, I think it was, I
I
mean,
got some hot
obviously, like,
takes.
yeah, no, you need to make a commitment,
Mm,
to doing the little things as cliche as that is. But Julie Van Le, as she as she corrected, right?
yeah.
The uh the global audiences, it's not Van Loo, right? I
Yeah.
believe it's Van Le, right?
Okay.
Um, I mean, whatever she concedes in size, I mean, she was out there, at the end of the day, I think 11 points on 5 of 15 shooting, by
Yeah.
like the fourth
Yeah.
quarter, she didn't shoot it well. But I mean, in terms of, I think like obviously Emma Meesman did her
Mhm.
thing, but I mean, like, that
Delora.
Julie just really set the tone, right? I mean, just tenaciously crashing the offensive glass,
Hmm.
just getting in there, diving for every loose ball. It's not even just being scrappy. You can tell she's got a good nose for the ball, just really tracking, all the balls off of like any, especially off 3-point shots.
Right.
So they gave themselves a shot, they gave themselves a chance to win. But, at the end of the day, I would say this is Stewie's game, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right?
No, because she was like the knife that keeps on stabbing. You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
think that you're like making progress or you're gonna chip away at them or like kind of throw the momentum off, it's like then here comes Stewie, like yeah, bleed a little bit more, bleed a little bit more. You know what I mean? And as much as like Asia stat lines, Stewie, you can kind of feel Stewie a little bit more. And maybe it's because Asia was kind of caught up in a lot of plays that didn't go her way. You know what I mean? Like a
Hmm.
lot of the loose balls ended up getting knocked away from her, or she would try to finish and the ball is going out of bounds, or she would be at the free throw line. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a actual the usual type of commanding game that we see from her. And
Yeah.
it it makes me feel like Linskins should be in the WNBA because she might be
Oh, yeah.
a lick of kryptonite for Asia as far as just her stature, um, her strength. You know what I mean? Like I want to give her
Yeah.
credit for her strength, her ability to actually get the ball in the post and move to where she needs to get like get her position in the way she wants to is just a matter of her finishing. You know what I mean? And I think that her and Van Loo,
Hmm.
that's how you say it correctly, right? Van Loo?
Well, I mean, she was
Because we've
trying
been
to. Not,
calling her Julie Van Loo for a long
no, that
time,
was her point, right? And again, I
especially
don't
on
think
Six
she
Spot.
was. I don't think she was doing it in a way to mock Noah Eagle.
Yeah.
I think Noah Eagle's fantastic at what he does. But we
Mm.
talked about this before. This is a little tangent, right? But like, remember you and I were saying like on a previous episode why we enjoy like kind of some of the international broadcasts, like
Yeah.
the BBC, right?
Yeah.
Because they really. And again, I'm not saying Noah Eagle is like slacking on his job. It's just some
We
other
get the
broadcast. They really go out of their way. They really try to learn how to pronounce team or
yeah.
players' names correctly, like in their native tongue. So
Yeah.
that's all she was saying, right? She was just kind of like, it was very tongue in cheek, right? It was very like lighthearted. She's saying like, oh, like in America, I'm Julie Van Loo, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so I mean,
She is. So
yeah,
her name's got Americanized, but
yeah,
no, I just feel like her and Linskin's like it was just a matter of shots missed. It was a make or miss league with that game. You know what I mean? Like, and then
well,
of course, like towards the end, trying to when you're playing in sort of a desperation mode. You know what I mean? Then your game plan kind of changes. And I don't know if I should
yeah,
say Delora hitting like a couple big shots towards the end and that the things going through her, but then she had that one turnover too as well that kind of like threw it out of sorts for me. It was like, yeah, this might be out of reach now. And I
yeah,
was feeling like, maybe they needed to continue to set her up. I mean, it's too late after it's so late in the game, you know what I mean? But maybe some of Julie's shots could have actually went to her. That Julie was throwing
yeah,
up heaves and whatnot. They could have had some more actions going on to get her open, but we didn't see her really get to where she got to. And she was just playing a role. You know what I mean? Just she was 5
yeah.
or 10, but she made some like key buckets, Delora that is. So um yeah, I think actually Belgium played well. You know what I mean?
They
They
really
played
did.
very well. Emma Mieseman looked like a damn
Oh,
superstar, bro. Like,
right. So going back to our preview episode, you posed
good
the
lord.
question, right?
Yeah,
When we were discussing like potential strategy,
yeah,
for both teams, and you said, well, okay, like how do they stop Miesman? And I just kind of like, lightheartedly said, I don't think they do. They just try to stop one of the other girls,
yeah,
right? Or
yeah.
one of the other
And they
women.
did.
And that's I mean,
They held up
24
Van
Emma
Loo.
Miesman, yeah, 24
Hmm.
points on 11 of 19 shooting,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I think like 11 of 16, from two-pointer.
yeah,
So I mean, no, they didn't really stop her. But kind of going back to our thoughts from the pregame show,
yeah,
we figure that again, given that other than Emma Miesman, like they didn't really have much kind of like scoring options, especially in the paint.
Yeah.
So this again, we figured Belgium would probably try to design a lot of their sets to be more perimeter oriented.
Yeah.
So
And
what
they
did we
did.
say?
They
Right.
did.
And
Yeah.
in response, I love what USA did. BG, Brittany Griner, she only played 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Only played 10 minutes.
Yeah. And
But
that was kind of worrying to me.
no, I don't think
Go
so.
ahead.
I don't think so, because your MVP dark horse, WNBA MVP dark horse, Alyssa Thomas's minutes went up, and she played small ball 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And very
Way
efficiently.
right. And again, right, what ended up happening?
She was able to switch
Belgium
off a
shot
lot. I'm sorry.
5 of 27. Oh no, just 5 of 27 from 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was completely blowing up a lot of action on the perimeter.
I slept on her because I said that, well, at least against Japan, I said that she could be somebody that you can use, like in I guess like pick and roll situations, or to efficiently stretch the floor by having her get switched off onto you and her guard you. But in this game, I don't know, she must have heard the pie like, oh, you don't think I can play perimeter, D? I mean, you can, and you're strong. And that's exactly what she used in this game. She used her strength, because a lot of times they were running to her and it just seemed like they were running into a brick wall, because they fumbled the ball quite a bit when they like were matched up with her a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then she was good just going for loose balls. She was good, like pushing the ball up and down the floor, making good passes and stuff like that. Like Alyssa played a quiet, like glue role. You know what I mean? Like without her, like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, because they had Sabrina kind of out of the picture. They had Diana kind of out of the picture. Jewel, I won't necessarily put her in much more like of a playmaking role as opposed to a scorer, but I mean, like they kind of, I mean, we want to see super big scoring when actually 8, 10, 15 points is pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, especially in this setting, especially with the minutes reduced, especially with the way the rotations are going, and the short time that you had to prepare and whatnot. But usually I don't know. I just felt like we would see more explosiveness from the likes of like a Joel Lloyd, from a Nafisa Collier. You know what I mean? And
well,
yeah, go for
keep
it.
going.
No, I was just gonna say like it was just an Age of Brianna game. You know what I mean? Like you go through one and then you go through the other, and whatever opens up around them at the time, then you get an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I don't know. Like I agree. I think pretty much outside of the two of them, like everyone is just kind of picking, their spots. Whatever. Again, as cliche as it is, whatever. Like just kind of taking what the defense gives them.
Yeah.
Jewel
in the left corner, like I said, all the time. You will find Jewel in that.
No, I mean, like I said, we were saying this on the previous episode, especially like in these international competitions and like these tournament style competitions. In all likelihood, at some point, every player on the roster is going to have their time to shine. Right. And like I said, so less minutes for BG, but I thought that was the right choice. Right. I want someone that's a lot more laterally quick on the perimeter. Alyssa Thomas did that. Fee played again. It's just the way we envision her or where we see her in the WNBA to compare how she is. She is playing way glue.
She's glue.
It's not that she's not a good defensive player in the WNBA. I'm just saying, like, we also look to her to be like a lead scorer.
Yeah.
Here, she is like literally playing like especially perimeter defense. She played 24 minutes, pretty much exclusively defending on the wing.
And then hit a couple big shots at the perfect right time. She was part of the turnaround to just go ahead and push the score and keep it there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And as you were saying about Alyssa Thomas, AT being able to, defend, rip down the rebound, and then push it in transition. I feel like that's the reason why Sabrina played more minutes in this game.
Yeah.
She played 16. Chelsea Gray only played 9.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it's what we were saying earlier, right? Sabrina it's not that one's better than the other. She just seems to be able to get her teammates into their sets a lot faster, Yeah. She's just a lot faster at being able to process and create something off the dribble, right? She's not having to like really probe or, kind of survey the court as much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like in response to what Belgium was doing, I feel like, pushed all the right buttons.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
obviously we
think
got the win, right? But
yeah, but I mean, Belgium played well because it seems like they
I
did
did.
take a little bit of something from Japan. You know what I mean? Like they were like, we're gonna crowd them the same way. We're stronger than them. Japan was just smaller than them, but they still made it happen. You know what I mean? With two or three players all piling up all at a time or going for the loose balls, and it's just multiple players doing it. It's not just one. You think it's one, you tipping the ball, and then here come two others. You know what I mean? And it's just, things were up in the air at moments. But yeah, I think Belgium actually could have won this game. I'm not gonna say that they couldn't have. I just think it was, like I said, make or miss league type stuff. Like, Van Loo makes some more shots. Linskins get some better like looks instead of. I mean, some of the looks I guess I would blame it on her, but I mean, of course, it's probably just dealing with the strength of like Aja and dealing with Brianna down low. Um, but she can, if she would settle a little bit more, go ahead and probably dig in a little bit, just a drop more when she's in the
Hmm.
post, and don't try to do some of the like Jokic circus finishes, because she had a couple of those that she did. Like she makes two more shots, Julie Van Loo makes two more shots. That's, you know what I mean? Like suddenly, no, I'm being
No, I
serious.
know. I
You know
know.
what I mean? Like suddenly, like like it's a
Yeah,
real game. Like what's happened? Because that's what it was pretty much most of the game. Like they were like right here most of the game, and then
yeah,
eventually it just slowly, like, you know what I mean. So, and I think that's what happened. Like Van Loo continued to keep on trying to make some of the shots, and some of them were heaves, and she missed. And Linskins continued to do what she was doing early, but I'm guessing Team USA went in during halftime, called out those adjustments, like, oh, we need to do this and that with these two, with those situations. Emma Meesman is gonna do whatever she want to do because she's shooting,
yeah.
leaning off of, you know what I mean, throwing up little right hand floaters, going sideways and all that. Like, man, Emma needs to be back in the WNBA because she looked like a superstar. But I don't know. I just feel like this team, if they had settled in just a little bit more, they would have really competed very much to the tail end. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been a stretch away.
Right,
Yeah.
right. This is now two consecutive games where Team USA did not shoot the three ball particularly well. Right,
Hmm.
first game they just no. Right, it's horrible. Which is funny.
Right.
They still won by like what 24 points, 26, whatever.
Hmm.
Right, and
Yeah.
they shot 4 of 20 in game one. This game against Belgium, 5 of 14. Right
Hmm.
now, the percentage, okay, slightly better, but
Yeah.
you can
Less
look at
shot.
this two ways, right? Like, or actually, no. I guess another way you could look at this though is that like the lack of 3-point attempts,
Mm.
right, is kind of noteworthy, right? Is it because Belgium was trying to run them off the 3-point line?
Yeah.
I don't think so, though. Really, I don't
A
think
little
so.
bit. A little bit.
I mean, every now and then, sure, but I mean, like, I don't know. If I am Belgium, right, I want the ball out of Asia Wilson's hands, or I want
Yeah.
it out of Brianna Stewart's hands as much as possible. So,
Yeah.
right, I would rather allow a 3-pointer. You know what I'm saying? Not like wide open, but I'm not going to be aggressively trying to like,
Yeah.
yeah, like body, like hip to hip and like, run them off the arc. So what I'm saying is, to me, it just further uh exemplifies like how dominant the US is at being able to generate quality looks in the paint. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they don't need to take I like that. They're not having to rely, or they're not settling to take a 3-pointer, right?
Right.
They're still getting quality looks, and sure enough, that's why I think that's a large reason why Asia and Stewie pretty much have the pretty stat lines, game to
Yeah.
game,
Yeah.
you know.
They do.
So
And it doesn't help that they could both stretch the floor. You know what I mean? Like
they can. However,
Kalia.
again, Asia didn't even attempt. She did not attempt a single three. And what did I talk about? I like
Yeah.
that. I
Oh
prefer that.
yeah. Yeah.
Don't let them
Yeah.
off the hook. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
not at all. Not at all. Please
Yeah.
don't let them off the hook. And you know who they could have used in this game a little bit more, even though I feel like they won the game out. Like they start stretching the game out with athleticism. You know who they could have really used in this game?
Who?
Kalia Copper. It would have
Yeah,
it
I
would have
mean,
blew it. It would have blew it wide open. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
she would have been zipping. You know what I mean? If they had the right players going for her, she would have been zipping. Especially if she could get in transition and zip, or somebody's like back there thinking that they can like contest, and she
yeah,
could just zip, like run the energy down even more. I feel like that's kind of something that happened to Belgium too. You could kind of see they were kind of winded a little bit
yeah,
towards the end. Most notably, like I don't know, I seen like Emma and Brianna kind of bump each other, and Emma was kind of behind her right after the bump. But I just feel like they were a little bit winded at the end, probably why Julie was missing some of her shots, and you know what I mean, like while Linskins was
yeah,
taking some of the shots that she was taking at the rim because she was right there. She would get her space, get to her spot, and do a back down or a post move and pretty much have a decent enough look. You know what I mean? Like the Ages and Briannas of the world more than likely are making that shot that close.
yeah.
So I just feel like, yeah, more settlement from her, but it was a good game. Let me not act like I'm rooting for Belgium. So people like, is
No,
he
no,
rooting
no.
for Team USA? Like, no, I'm just showing love to all the ladies, man, because
I mean,
Linskin
like you
should be
said.
in the league. And before you go in, I'll just say,
Oh no, good.
as much as everybody was saying the Minnesota Lynx needed a big, y'all need to look at Linskins because she kind of nice. She kind of nice.
She's good, dude.
Yeah, she's good. Like
She's
on
good.
both ends of the floor, both ends.
She
She's a
has really good
dominant
instincts.
presence in
Really good
that too.
instincts defensively.
Yeah,
Around the rim.
yeah,
You know me. I'm a little old school like that. All right.
yeah,
I
yeah. Me
like
too.
I like my bigs to be able to be around the rim
Multiple
on both ends. You know
things.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what gets it done, man. Like if you're just one sided, then it's not gonna get it done. And she was bothering everybody, even BG. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know I took no easy notice of that. It's like damn, they can't get through her. They can't just Aja when she does her face up, like her step back, her face up and then step back jumper. Like okay,
Mm-hmm.
that you can't guard for real. But
Oh
most
no.
of everything else,
No.
she was around for. You know what I mean at the rim. And sometimes Brianna when she gets her just slippery effect where she's just already right there, 7 feet wingspan and all that. So you know what I mean? It's like, what can you do with that?
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, when all is said and done, and I think, like, obviously you and I said that we felt like this was more of a Stewie game.
Yeah.
Like, Asia finished the day with 23 points, 13
And 13
rebounds, 2
rebounds.
assists,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Stewie, close numbers, right? 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5
Yep. 5
assists.
assists. Yep.
Um, it's just, I don't know,
The optics.
exactly. Like when
Mm-hmm.
we think about this game, and obviously you even just watched it again recently,
Yeah.
right? Like Stewie had like the plays that stood out the most because I felt like
Yes,
in
she
this
did.
game, like I guess she was just feeling it. Like she showed like her entire repertoire.
Yeah.
Like she
She did.
showed the entire arsenal of moves. Like whoa, right? Like the
Like
kind of
transition
like that
posts,
hesitation
mid
step
posts.
through. The
Yeah.
step through, like that was like crazy. Like, you already threw off the defender, right? With like the hezi, and then all of a sudden, like,
Right.
like
Right.
so I mean,
I,
that's what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
like I feel like Brianna is making a case for people to not forget her when it comes for MVP. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
WNBA MVP. She's just like, don't forget who I am. You know what I mean? Because she's still capable of this, and it's like she's been getting kind of drowned out a little bit by Sabrina, but everybody's been getting drowned out by the rookie craze. You
Oh,
know what I
you mean
mean? So
WNBA
I
MVP?
mean WNBA MVP. I mean, hell, she might be able to. I mean, do they declare an MVP for the Olympics?
They do,
Hmm.
which is kind of funny because as of today, the
Yeah,
power rankings for the
she
WNBA or the
should.
Olympic MVP, it's
She
Stewie.
should be. Yeah, she
It's
should be.
Stewie.
It should
Second
be.
is second
Asia.
is Asia. Third is your girl Satu. Right?
I get giddy about them. Yeah,
I know, right?
yeah.
So,
Let's go, Satu.
yeah, and then 4 is Emma Meesman.
As we see, because
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, and by the way, we haven't really covered her or France at all, just because they're not in the US's group. But
Mhm.
Gabby Williams,
Gabby
holy
Williams.
shit, holy shit. Okay, That's
man.
another. I'm not necessarily a
That
carry job. France's players are doing well, but dang, I'm
yeah.
saying like, whoa,
No, but
definitely putting your mark on the game.
Gabby is like the prototype. Well, one of the prototypes because I feel like a lot of women could fit that. But when you have your team designed around certain players and you play to their strengths, you place things around any weaknesses that they may have, or you put players that have strengths that will elevate their weaknesses, then you will see a different type of player
Yeah,
as opposed to, oh, Gabby can't knock down just threes at a knock. She's not a knockdown 3-point shooter, or she's not this, she's not that. Okay, well, put that around her. That's what you do. LeBron
yeah.
James couldn't rebound if he's passing you the ball. He couldn't make the shots if he's passing you the ball. So you go get shooters, you go get rebounders, you get a running mate, and boom, there you go. It would be nice to see Gabby Williams in a role where she was the prominent player. You know what I mean? But we get to see it here with France. So
That's what I'm saying, right? And you
yeah.
see it for both the men and women's competition. Because once
Hmm.
again, we're already kind of getting off tangent, but it's okay. It still relates.
Yeah.
Uh, right. One of our favorite aces, right? Megan Gustafsson.
Mhm.
That was not a one-time thing. She dominated again.
And I
And
called it.
what did I say? My dark horse pick to at least be on the medal stand, right? Spain, and they're guaranteed. They're in the knockout stages now, right?
No, yeah.
Both 1 point wins, but it doesn't matter. A
I
win's a win, man.
mean, hey, a win. Yeah, I was just about to say that
You
a
know?
win is a win.
Yeah,
And
dude.
yeah, I had mentioned that. I said Megan, yeah, she might be sitting on that Aces bench down there, just waiting, for somebody to. Oh, my finger hurt right now. It's itchy. A mosquito just bit it. I got a bump on it. I can't feel the ball. And then here
I
she
mean, make no
comes.
mistake, right? They have
Yeah.
like a plethora of options to go to, but yeah, I don't know. You would think, right? You
Hmm.
want like more of a consistent inside presence,
Yeah.
kind of like a stabilizing force.
Yeah.
We're getting into WNBA, but I'm just saying,
No, I
right? Like, I
mean
think it's
that's what
no,
we're
it's
covering.
what you were saying, like about Gabby Williams. It's a great
Hmm.
reminder of what these players are individually capable of.
Right.
Like again, it might not be conducive to the team to be
Right.
giving them like a centralized role, a primary role, but
Hmm.
they have it in them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not
Hmm.
devoid of those skills. So it's
Right.
just really great to see.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I think that is a pretty thorough recap. It'll be interesting again and I'm not trying to again like belittle the rest of the field, but if Belgium is truly the second best team in this tournament,
Yeah.
I feel more confident in the US to
I mean,
keep on moving here.
okay, so
Like,
let's go on and move on to the preview.
yes, let's
Because
go.
I will say don't sleep on Satu Sabali.
Okay, let's go ahead. I'll let you do your.
Yeah,
So okay,
is
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, in case you didn't know, so the final game of group play, the U.S. will take on Germany this
Mhm.
Sunday, um, 8:15, 8:15, right? Yeah, 8:15 Pacific, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. So that'll be great. Ends a little early. Can do a recap earlier. Who knows, right?
Mhm.
But Michael, I mean, I know you've been a long time Satu Sabali fan. I
Yeah.
think you had a good assessment of what she was capable of, before she even did it, in the
Mhm.
WNBA. So why don't you because clearly, okay, right, not to steal your thunder, she's clearly like if there is such a thing as a carry job, this is a carry job, right? She is carrying the German team. So why don't you take it away?
I mean, we all know Satu is capable. We see what's happened with the Dallas Wings since she's been out in the WNBA. Um, she suffered injuries. We've seen her. Well, I've seen her play for Fenerbahce. Like, I literally would watch her games. You know what I mean? Like, I would follow her wherever she was playing, and I've seen her be great. You know what I mean? Like, when you build the team around like we just mentioned about Gabby Williams. When you have a team curated around a certain player, then you will get the results. You will see results. What type of results they can produce? You know what I mean? As opposed to, oh, she's a part of this. Why can't she do this, and that? Is well,
No.
it's only one basketball for one. For two, the playbook is probably only geared to her for 35% of it as opposed to 60. You know what I mean? Like usage rate, all of that types of those types of things. But what happened when Dallas in particular like started to use her where they were trying to play through her. Like they were trying to have her facilitate, bring the ball up, stuff like that, initiate the offense. Like, yeah, okay, it was her first go round. And she was at least with Dallas, and she was, getting turnovers and stuff like that. But a lot of people need to understand too that when you see these players taking on new um I guess responsibilities, I should say, instead of
Mm-hmm.
saying new roles. They take on new responsibilities. You lunge them into
Yeah,
something else and you tell them, I want to see you do this. You are putting them in position to do that efficiently because they are basketball players. You know what I mean? So as long as they're about their craft, they really care about it, they really want to improve, you're going to see them improve. Now we're saying Satu take on like
dude.
those abilities, and you cannot sleep on her. You can't.
Because we've had this conversation before, but I don't think we've shared it with the audience. Can you?
Yeah.
What is Satu's position?
Power forward. Oh, what was my position for her?
Yeah, what did you believe her position
Oh,
was?
she's a small forward, and I was man. Shout out to Snap again, but he was killing me for it. Like
See,
that
okay,
two at the three. I'm like that two at the three. That two at the
it's
three.
funny that you just said right in terms of playmaking, facilitating. I think
Yeah,
like a year, maybe 2 years ago, I was
like
like,
2 years ago.
I feel like she should be the point guard,
I'm no. I like that. I like that. I like that
right?
idea. Yeah.
Think of like you see it. Actually, no, you're seeing it here with the German national team, right? I'm not saying in
Hmm.
no way am I saying like a female version of Sean Livingston, right?
Right.
But what did Livingston do, right? In those like the jumbo small ball lineups, right?
Yeah. He
Right.
facilitated.
He can facilitate, right? He has the ability, like he has as a guard, or he was a guard or a forward, depending
Yeah.
on the lineup.
Because of
But still,
his length.
his length, right?
Yeah.
Post up, and then right, he can facilitate rather off the dribble or out of the post.
Right.
Very unorthodox. I was like, dude, I feel like Satu could do that.
Yeah. She
And you just
can.
said that. And like she's
And
literally doing it right now for the German national team.
she's got you can okay. I'm about to go off on a tangent here because I feel
No,
like
go.
a lot of people when because there's times where I would say damn. I mean, if Jokic just could, if Jokic could be a point guard, let's just
Jokic is a
start
point
there.
guard.
Yes, let's just start there.
We're,
But
right, we
but
call him a center because he's 7 feet tall.
exactly. Thank you. That's pretty. You just made my point without me having to
Oh, I'm
figure out
sorry. Yeah.
no. You made my point for
Yeah.
me without figuring out how to have to land it. Your positioning doesn't necessarily mean that you are only something else. You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
are Satu Sabli, you're at the four, you're at the three. That doesn't mean you're a big or a wing. It could mean you are a point guard too. It's just a matter of pretty much if you know what I mean. Do you have the basketball IQ? Do you have the floor vision? Do you have the ability to facilitate for your teammates? Do you have the ability to create, to increase the ability for you to facilitate for your teammates? Like it's certain
Right.
things. Do you have an eye to be able to read the defense and see where the ball can go, different pockets you can feed the ball? Like, and Satu had began working on that more in Dallas, because I would say, she skipped a year of Fenerbahce, so I didn't see any progress there, you know what I mean, because she was absent. And I've seen her before then, and she had different things to her game. She was multifaceted, you know what I mean. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of actually having it on over a longer span of time, and in the WNBA for us to definitely see, because I couldn't catch all of the games over there, but yeah, like she's capable, bro. Like she's capable, and I actually thought that she would lunge herself into the Nafisa Collier type of MVP kind of space this year, but she got hurt. You know what I mean? Like, so
I
it
totally
would have
think she
been,
eventually will.
yeah, she will. It,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. It would be nice if she came back for these last 15 games. I know we're going off on a tangent. I know I am, especially, but it would be nice if she came back for these last 15 games for the Dallas Wings, and everybody's like, well, damn, what if Satu played the whole season? This
Mm-hmm.
might be an MVP caliber type of
Yeah.
like, hell, what if Dallas goes like 12-3 or something like that, and suddenly they're in the playoffs again, and suddenly Satu is scary. You know what I mean? With the explosive Enrique.
I
So
know, right?
I just want people not to sleep. I mean, they can't have Niara not playing the next game, but yeah, Satu is capable regardless.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it would be nice
I
to see her. I don't, I want America to win, but I love Satu. Um, it would be nice to
yeah,
see like her get piled up on or game planned for, scouted, and they think that she can't like she can't facilitate the team, and then she just goes to picking them apart. Suddenly, is Satu turns into Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? That would be amazing.
yes,
That would be amazing. Yeah, like I would
yes,
love to see that. They could lose, whatever, but don't let it be by a lot. Let her flex. Let her, Satu 19, 12 assists and 10 rebounds or something like that. Like, that's a statement to me.
yeah,
And she's
yeah,
capable. She's capable.
yeah. No, I mean, I think take the words right out of my mouth, right? I mean, that's exactly how I felt about her
Hmm.
WNBA tenure, what she's capable of. I understand, they're still trying to put the right pieces around, but again, in doing that, what are the okay? Again, we're talking about the WNBA, but still, right? It's just right.
Yeah.
She's showing you here, and I know you're gonna say, "Oh, FIBA is not the WNBA," but no, it's just she's showing now, like, given that she is like the man on this team,
Right.
what she's capable of doing, like you said, right? Like there are
Hmm.
other aspects of her game that I don't think have been fully utilized, right?
Right.
Now that like, whoa, she actually has that level of comfort of doing all these things at a high level,
Hmm.
that really changes, right? Like how you go about putting those pieces around. Maybe you
Right.
change your, maybe, well, no, we need this kind of player. And so, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, I
Exactly.
mean,
I know what you're saying. I know.
yeah, because right now, to bring this back to Team Germany, they are all just playing off of her,
Yeah.
all of them, right? And you know, I'll give them some credit, but I mean, like again, just kind of like Belgium, this is an extremely narrow scoring tree, and forget about like who's actually right. Like we're not even talking about prolific scorers. We're just talking about like where are the field goal attempts being distributed, and it's
Right.
really just only like outside of Satu, you know, Alexis Peterson,
Mm.
you know, who is more of a perimeter player.
Yeah.
She didn't shoot the ball particularly well against Germany. Um, so I mean, I think they're going to have to expect her to shoot significantly better. I think she was like one of
Wait.
seven.
You said against Germany, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, against Japan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, their last game against Japan.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to have to give themselves a shot, I think they do need to
Japan
start.
is crazy on defense though. So
No, which is true.
yeah.
That is true. But still,
Yeah.
you know, and Luisa Geisel
Yeah.
you know, um, nice paint presence. You
Yeah.
know, I think at least give someone to battle on the boards against. Man, that sounds daunting as I'm about to say it out
Right.
loud. Against Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Brittany Griner. Well, you know what I mean.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Good
they have
luck.
someone. I think
Yeah.
this will probably be. Yeah,
Might as well throw.
probably right. Other than
Might.
Emma, like this is probably like the most size and length that US will see so far,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, I
I
mean,
think we see Alyssa and Nafisa on Satu the most, and unless I don't know, she's like trying to cook from the post. You know what I mean? But I think we see them down there the most, or guarding her the most. I believe they would. I think they disrupt her. Like passing, they would disrupt that a little bit more and get her off of her balance and potentially kill some plays because of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think so.
I
I
mean,
think.
I would imagine. Yeah, let's see. It's kind of like our prediction slash kind of envision what their strategy might be. I would expect like a lot of guards specifically guards to be setting screens for Satu.
Hmm.
Even if like their screens don't hold up,
Yeah.
right? I think they're gonna want to try to get the mismatch on DT or Sabrina
Ooh,
if
good
she's in
lord.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna want to try to exploit that, and even if it's not like a flash post or an actual a legitimate post up, it could at least run some like backdoor action or some cross cuts or something like that to try to open up and try to kind of open up the second level of the defense. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, what does it matter? I don't know, right? No offense, but like, if you're not really a primary scorer anyway, then get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're gonna set a screen for Satu, assuming Niara plays, what do you envision her role to be?
Probably Satu Light. Satu from a couple years ago. Satu Light. You know what I mean? But probably more physical for sure. And using, I would say, just play crafty. You know what I mean? Play crafty. Just do it. Because Germany's won both of their previous games, I believe, right? Yeah, they've won both their games, so they're safe. Just go for it. Just play free, play to carry some experience forward into the next phase. You know what I mean? That way you can see some other types of things that you could do. Like, don't just try to go in one dimensional like Satu or nothing. I mean, you could start off this game Satu or nothing, but let it develop into, let's see what else we could do going forward. So we will have the ability to try to create based on what we're going to see, or what we see if we just let you play free. If we let you play free, we call the players or whatever. Let's play through Satu, but let the players kind of spread their wings a little bit, because I believe in Germany. I do. I think they're capable of being one of the top 3 teams that.
So again, this to just prove. Well, no, I don't want to say prove, but like I agree with you from our last episode. Like I'm not really. I don't know if it's because they didn't like compete as much on the exhibition circuit. Because power ranked at 9 seemed really odd, but regardless, they have actually won their 2 group stage games, right? So they beat. They did also beat Belgium. They beat Japan. So they are also locked in to the knockout stage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, which is actually a nice little segue before we wrap this up. So far, 8 teams will get to the knockout stage, the quarterfinals. Right now, Serbia and Spain have locked in their spots. So you know me, right?
Yeah.
I do. Well, I don't have it right now. I will be waving the U.S. flag, but when Spain plays, I'll be waving my little Spain flag too.
Nice. Okay.
España, La Familia, right? Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. They advance. France has advanced. Yes, that's nice. Home nation. So that's 3 right there, and then U.S. and Germany. So that's 5, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Nigeria, Australia, I think Belgium's got a shot. But just real quick thoughts. Any thoughts like of the field shaping up so far? Obviously, so this game does matter for seeding purposes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, basically, as long as the U.S. the U.S. women win, they're the top seed. Right. Because the next tiebreaker is point differential. Nobody has a point differential as big as US. So I mean, as long as they win, they're the number 1 seed.
Right.
And they'll likely play one of those teams that have not qualified yet. So let's say, well, we can do a more in-depth preview, but you're right. It's going to be one of, like I said, one of Nigeria. Who else was there again?
Who I would actually like to see play. That would be
Nigeria, cool. Australia, Belgium.
Australia's nice too. I slept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Canada also has an outside shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it'll go down to point differential. But I guess any quick thoughts of the teams? Like, who do you? You know me. I'll just say it right there. I think again. I don't think they're gonna. Well, depends. We'll have to see the draw. I'm just saying. No, I'm just to say. I'm still sticking with Spain. I'm sticking with Megan. I'm sticking with Megan. That's about it. I don't know. France is playing extremely well.
Yeah. It would be nice to see France. Like, I like too many of these teams. They house some of my favorite players. So I mean, of course, I want America to win, but I mean, do I want Satu to win? Do I want Gabby Williams to win? I like Nigeria as well. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Japan impressed me. China is huge, and that would be big for them to place in the top three. Like I just want to see good games. You know what I mean? Go America, go Team USA. But yeah, I want to see good games, and that's what we've been seeing. Like I've been seeing something to the extent of I get to see how these teams decided to game plan. I get to see some players shine that we don't get to see in the WNBA. You know what I mean? That actually I would assume over this expansion period that we're about to enter into, we'll end up being on some of these expansion teams or get a look, might get a call to a camp or something like that. Like,
hmm
and they're capable. I've always said that, like, pretty much just because these players are sitting at the end of the bench, don't think that they're not capable of actually elevating their game to be a number one or two option. Like we seen, I don't mean to jump back to the WNBA, but okay, yeah, Dallas is desolate. They were desolate with injuries and trying to figure out their rotations. But then what happens? Maddie Seagrass. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I mean, she'll be my only example. I can go travel to Washington and talk about another one, but I won't. And I mean, I'm sure WNBA
okay.
heads know who I'm talking about, but like we have to actually really pay attention to what these women are capable of. Because, like I said earlier, you put someone in place, you say, we're going to build the team around them, we're going to play through them. You make that an actual, like, clear cut game plan, then
Yeah,
you will get some kind of results as opposed to, oh, let's just get all these pieces and just push them out there and see what they do. You know what I mean? Like, no,
yeah,
because they have to not only figure each other out, they got to figure out how you want them to figure it out and how you want to configure them at the same time. So you want this person to shoot threes and cut. You want this person to set the screens and pass. You want this person to stand in the corner and play D. Like, what if they can do a little bit of all of it? Then what? You know what I mean? So, hey, you could be the Minnesota Lynx, or you can be, my old Detroit Shock slash Tulsa Shock slash now Dallas Wings when they have a whole roster full of players that are really good. The Kayla Thorntons of the world and
yeah,
Satu getting in and out of the rotation, partly because she wasn't there, stuff like that. Like, but then when you decide to make a decision to just go forward, like with a clear cut, like pathway, then you'll see results. So it's nice to see some of these teams, with some of the players that they have leading for them and doing things for them from Japan on down to whoever's the worst rated team in the group
yeah.
phase. And I'm just enjoying the basketball for real. I know I went off on a tangent, but I'm just showing love.
No,
I'm just showing
no.
love to all of the ladies, man, because it's been some really the games I have seen have been beautiful games. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, you know,
mhm.
I'm born and raised out here in the Bay Area, California.
Cali,
So yeah, my entire
hey.
life, like, what games do I normally see? Right, well, obviously
Yeah,
Warrior games, and then when it comes to college, I'm like born and raised watching Pac-12 or Pac-10. When we
yeah,
were younger,
yeah,
right? So I say that because Nigeria, Promise Mukamara,
yeah,
she is balling.
yeah.
I'm sorry, the Pac-12 connection. She's Arizona State alum.
Hmm.
She's playing, I think, right now in France, like professionally. But I mean, I think it's France, right?
I hear rain. Let's go.
But regardless, yeah, like she is just on fire. She has been on fire,
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm with you. I would love to see
Nigeria
Nigeria
place
advance.
because
Yeah,
they feel like the only team that hasn't had a like. I mean, I follow them on Twitter and whatnot, so I see stuff. But I feel like on a national, like a American national and even an international scale, for them to be able to see the talent that's over there. You know what I mean? Because they have talent
yeah,
over there on both the men's and women's, but the women's team has been nice for a while, and um, it's just a matter of cracking through, breaking through, and like getting some wins. You know what I mean? So it would be nice to see them, even if it's just against America, because it will put it will put the biggest spotlight on them if they played us. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
either way. Like, but it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as they play good, as long as it's a good game. Like, I do kind of want to see America blow somebody out, but I kind of don't. I like it being close. I like it where how Belgium made me feel. Hell, if they made this person made two more shots, she made two more shots. That person over there, she made two more
I mean,
shots. That's a 12-point swing. They lost by what? What was it again? Like, yeah,
13.
13. Like, come
I
on now.
mean,
And that's
I don't
not
know.
a far going conclusion.
I know everyone. I know. I joke about myself being like a glass half full kind of guy, and more optimistic.
Yeah, me
But
too.
like, I don't know.
I'm an
When I
optimist.
when I watch this women's tournament, like even if like for example, like you said, right? Like Japan, we won by 26 points.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna blow them out,
Don't let it feel like it.
not even that. It's like I don't know. Like I don't know if this is like demoralizing to our opponents, but it's just like I feel like they played well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
like,
I mean. Like,
I don't know if that makes them feel any better or worse. All I'm just trying to say is like I like that these other like I have not seen a team play poorly
and cower
you
in
know
defeat or give
yeah
up.
like right like even like these other teams that have lost, like I don't think it's like, oh, you lost because you played sloppy or
Right.
you played like you were incompetent out there. No, it's just like one team just absolutely out executed,
Right.
and that's how I feel like these games have gone. So I hope to see more of that, or how we get to see more of that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think your enthusiasm for Germany, or more so like the Sabali sisters, warranted that preview, but it'll be good. It'll be interesting, I think we can agree. We expect the US to win this one.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. Again, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Brittany Griner makes it unfair.
Germany. Well, no, it's still important to Germany, right? Again, right? It goes back to the whole thing, tiebreakers. So they need to keep this loss like somewhat contained, right? Like somewhat reasonable, so that they can get a more favorable seeding. Because if you're not in the US's bracket, then it gives you a shot, right? Obviously, you're not in the same bracket as the US, then you have a better shot at getting a medal, right? So we'll see.
Lose by 1. That'll make it fun for everybody. Yeah, see?
I don't think so. Can you imagine?
Yeah, lose by 1.
They'll get the level of criticism that the men's team gets if they only win by 1.
Lose by 1. Lose by 1, Germany. That'll get Satu her deserved respect that she should have, but everybody hasn't seen her. I don't think they have. Probably the diehards, and because you're a scout, you can identify.
No, recency bias. What have you done for me lately? And the American audience has not seen her lately.
In a while.
You've forgotten. Yeah. It's like how many people going back to men, people kind of forget that Ja Morant is good. Like, do you really expect Memphis to suck? Are you serious, man?
They do.
I know, tangent, but I'm just saying, right? Like you forget. You forget, like you haven't seen him, So.
Lose by 1. Let's have a good, fun back and forth game. I'll be off, so I might be able to just be on Twitter watching it as a family with everybody, real time. So yeah.
Well, actually, given it's a weekend, we'll try to hop on sometime after the game, give a recap, and by then, we'll immediately know the bracket for the knockout stage, the knockout round.
What time is the game?
8:15 a.m. Pacific, so 11:15 a.m. Eastern.
I thought you was about to say 8 in the morning on Sunday, like
I'm waking up for it, so dude, you know what I'm saying?
No, you are that early, I'll as a family, everybody, let's watch.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right.
All righty. So y'all see our names at the bottom. Follow us on Twitter. Also follow the EMW account at EMW_pod. Follow us on YouTube. If you catch this just floating somewhere on Twitter, tap that little button that take you right to the page. Like and subscribe, please.
Those are our 2 favorite words.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
we're also fond of the word share.
Yeah, and we're fond of the word share. And I'm beginning to believe we need you to like everything. So go back, click through the videos, hit that like button because it's gonna get through the algorithm. We can get to more b-ball heads like y'all. And yeah, that's it for today. So
Enjoy the
y'all have
game.
a good night and enjoy the games. Yeah. We'll see y'all then.
Take care.